Hello, welcome to Training with Rich, another training module on how to do covered calls and cash secured puts. In this lesson, we're taking a look at where we stand on the Wednesday of the first week of a 2-week covered call. So we started the covered call on December 16th, 2022, and we made it for 2 weeks to 12/30 of 2022. And right now, we're at the close of Wednesday going into Thursday. The stock started out at 86.46, Alibaba, and it is currently at $87.81. Between Friday and Thursday, Friday of last week and Thursday today, the stock has gone from 85 up to 91 and back down to 85, and now it's back up to 87. So as usual, it's very volatile and moving all around. Now remember, in this case, at the end of 2022, I'd like to sell the 1,000 shares. I'd like to have it assigned. I'd like to have it assigned at the $91 mark. That would be perfect in my estimation. That would be perfect. I have 1,000 shares going for 91. I have 300 shares of Leaps going for 95. So if it were to close at 91, I'd just sell those 1,000 shares, take that $11,000 short-term gain into 2022 for tax advantages, and start 2023 with a fresh slate. So I'm going to start here with another account, just so you can get a really good idea of what's going on with BABA puts. So this is an 81 and an 80 put, and I have insurance set at 77 and 79. So I bought these on December 16th, and this is just all puts. There's no stock in here. So I don't own the stock, but what I did was I bought insurance at 79 and 77. And if you look at how much since last Friday, it's only been about 5 days. 2 of them were the weekend. The 81 put had the 77 insurance behind it, and so the 380 minus 280 is $100. So we're $100 ahead so far. On the 4 $80 puts, we were at 308 and then 180, so we're $128. So that kind of gives you an idea. This should be a good screenshot to show you, what this is all about. How much initially I thought I would make. 595 minus 395, I thought I'd make 200 there, and then the 436 from the 236, thought I'd make another 200 there. So I'm hoping to make about $400 on this particular one, and it's in a different account than the big account. So here's the big account with all the Alibaba in it. And if you look across, we've got, the average stock share of 1,000 shares is $80.60. And I went ahead and put 3 covered calls on my synthetic stocks down here, the Leaps. I went ahead and put 3 at $95. So I'm hoping to collect $540. Now that'd be $540 on December 30th. Here I've got 10 contracts, which is the 1,000 shares, and I've got that set at $91. Now currently the stock is at $87.81. So what could I get, how much would it take to get out of this obligation? Well, $1,415. So I could actually gain $1,591 here. That's not too bad considering it's just, half of Friday and then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Make $1,500 on that one, and $354 on this one. But here's the trick to covered calls. You want to try to get as close to the actual ending target date, and I've set it at $91. Well, at $91, that'd be, $3.20 more than what it is right now, and that'd be $3,200 at 1,000 shares. So instead of collecting $7,200, I would collect about $10,500. So altogether, when you add up all these calls and puts that I've got going on here, it actually is just a little over $4,000. Because follow my cursor down here, I've got 13 covered calls, I've got 2 vertical credit calls, and I've got 12 vertical credit put spreads. And then I kind of break those out, on what the time dates are. But the reason why I put the time dates in there, because sometimes when I close part of them out, I'll say, okay, we finished this one on December 27th, and then we hit a double. We rolled it in to another put that would finish on December 30th. Right now, everything was set up on December 16th, and everything's going to close out on 12/30. Now, on Tuesday, I had a decision to make because I could have got out of all these for $2,300, which would have put me at about half of 50% profit potential there. I almost did part of it, but I decided no, let's just stay with it. This is going to be my example to you to show you how to do covered calls and hold them till the end of the expiration date. But what I did next was I went ahead and I put the quarter. I asked Tastyworks to give me a spreadsheet on what I had made or lost on all the different Alibaba calls from October 1st. And you'll notice down here that I stopped right around December 7th. I kind of stopped. I popped a quick one in there with just 3 contracts. I had 13, but I just did 3. I did the synthetic ones, and I didn't do the 1,000 shares. Why? Because Alibaba's stock went from about $80, $79, down to $58. And really, you don't want to trade covered calls when your stock has dropped that much. It went down to $58 for just a couple hours, and then it went right back up to 60. But it took a while for it to get back up into the 79 range. And as I've noted down here, I'll usually start back up on a covered call when I get within 10%. So, if I've got $80 invested in it, when I get past the $82, maybe I'll start doing some covered calls. But even at that point, I'm doing 90% out of the money so that I don't get my stock assigned and I have to sell the stock at a loss. Now, if you go ahead and rebuy it right back, that's fine. But there is such thing called a wash rule. And if you sell stock at a loss, you have to wait 30. It's a 30-day rule, so you wait till 31 days before you buy it back. It'd be just my luck that within those 31 days, the stock, would go sky high, and I'd miss out on the opportunity of it actually, being in the game when it goes up. And as anybody knows, you don't sell stock when it's down. You hold on to it and wait till it comes back up. Unless you were smart enough and had a crystal ball and put a stop limit order in there and got out of it before it went too far down. But I didn't think Alibaba was going to keep going down, and it didn't. And the way it turned out, it was smart not to do any calls because it went from the $58 back up to the 80 in about 5 weeks. So I only had to wait about 5 weeks. Earlier in the year, I've waited much longer for the stock to come back up before I eventually sold it. This is a whole new set of stocks. These Alibabas, I bought them back in August, and I'm just tracking the quarter. So right here, this is my SEC number on the trade. It's tax year 2022. I opened it on 9/29 and closed it on the 6th, and it was a call. It was a short call, and I bought out of this thing for $68, and then I was back into it again for $227. So that month, which was October, I made $1,546. Now, just about half of that month, I didn't have any calls out there, so it was a very light month. I usually make over $2,000, but I didn't. I made $1,546, and that's just the way it goes. In November, I was waiting for the stock to come back up, and so I didn't make very much at all, $277, but it came back up. And some of my dates here that are I'm doing it based on the close dates. That was 11/25. Let's take a look and see what happened with December. Now, December, I'm doing this video on December 22nd. I actually did the screen print here from my account for December 16th. And a lot of these were things that I'd put in on the 2nd and went to the 15th. But if you watch the learning video before this one, you see that I was actually doing doubles, closing out things in the middle of the session, of the 2-week session, closing it and then rebuying it. So I ended up with a lot of stuff going on. But between December 2nd and December 16th, I have actually made $3,189, which is more than the previous 2 months put together. Once again, it really hurts when you can't do covered calls because the product's gone too low. But I did make $3,189. You add that to September and October, we're at $5,056. Now, remember, I had to decide whether to close out these obligations on Tuesday. when the stock went down to 85. When stock goes down, your calls, you're able to get out of your calls easier. Your obligation can be called, and you can actually pay to get out. I could have made about $2,300 on Tuesday, only being in these situations with these calls and puts for 3 days, and made half of what I'm probably going to make when we get to the end. So I'll be happy if I end up making $3,000 by next Friday. And when you put that $3,000 on top of the $3,000 in the first 2 months, you know, that's going to be well over $6,000. So let's just kind of see how we go. We have the, we're already at $5,000 in the middle of the month. So if I make $3,000 more, that'll put us at $8,000, and that's not bad for 3 months. That actually works out to almost, you know, $2,700 a month, even though I had a really bad time of it in the middle of this quarter. So far in this quarter, we're at 5,056. I'm hoping to make at least 3,000. Maybe if everything, stars align, everything works out great, I end up making about 4,200, 4,300. That'd be fantastic. On top of the 5,000, I can finish at 9,000. But if I finish at 8, I'll be extremely happy.